welcome back. Threat Actors, Module 2 of the NCSC Certified Training Cyber Incident Planning and Response course. Threat Actors focuses on who is your attacker and who is going to attack you. What are their skills? You need to know your adversary. We covered the why in Module 1. In this section, it's about who they are. What are their skills? What are their capabilities? What are their motivations? That will help you answer the why. What the Sun Tzu, The Art of War, is basically saying, if you don't know your adversary, if you look at the last line, if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you're going to lose. You have to take this position. You have to understand who are your threat actors. Why are they after you? Remember the why and what is their motivation. Quick reminder of that mind map. Who is the attacker? What will they do? What's their motivation? Are they going to sell, ransom, expose? Are they going to steal your intellectual property, nuclear secrets, revenge, nation-state revenge? You have to keep focusing on who is your attacker. This will change over time. Time for an interactive exercise. Define some attributes of a talented cyber attacker. We're saying take a few minutes and write down some attributes of a talented cyber attacker. Take 5 minutes and I will share with you what we have. Okay, welcome back. Deeply passionate and motivated. As I often say to cyber executives, senior executives, when we do our executive briefings with them, what you see here may be the description of an ideal employee. Talented cyber attacker, lazy in a good way. They love automation. They will find effective workarounds. They will automate whatever they can. Remember, automation increases efficiency, decreases errors. Music to an executive's ear. You know what? They have biases. They don't like people, but they will work with anyone to achieve their objective. They are absolutely amazingly fast to learn on the job. Extremely creative, constantly innovating. As any good fraudster would do, cyber criminals are no different. They employ their creative side of the brain far more sometimes than their technical side of the brain. F is very interesting. They may have to do some planning, obviously, and we're going to talk about the planning, the methodology. But you know what? Most criminals, most cyber attackers are not bogged down by painful, archaic processes and procedures. And the last one, but not least, they never give up. If they fall down, they get up, dust themselves, and carry on. Another quick question for you, an exercise. Take 1 or 2 minutes only and quickly jot down the first 3 or 4 threat actors that come to your mind. Those who want to harm your organization. Okay, welcome back. When we do this exercise in public workshops and internally within organizations, these 3 or 4 type of threat actors are the most common ones that people start to write down. Did you write something down like this? There is much more to threat actors than these 3 or 4 types of threat actors. let's dive straight into that. Threat actors, also known as threat agents, depending on which country you are in, is all about understanding your attacker. Apart from who, what is their intent, what are their capabilities? For example, who is supporting them? Is there a government behind them? Is there a criminal gang behind them? Focus on two main attributes. One, obviously, who and how are they going to damage your business? What tools, what methodologies? You don't have to be technical, but you have to understand why you need to know the answers to these questions. A good risk assessment must take into consideration a threat actor and some of the attributes, the categories, the questions you need to ask about a threat actor. What is their intent? What are their resources? What's the objective? Are they out to damage you, embarrass you? One of the things when we sit down with executives, one of the first questions I ask is, do you know how to damage your business? Because the criminal knows. If you don't know what actions a criminal has to take, there's a big problem. Some of the attributes to keep in mind: the intent, what are their skills, their resources, are they going to sell, take, destroy? And I refer you back to module 1 of CIPR, where we started with why. This is helping you build the why someone would attack your business. An example of threat actors. You don't have to use this at all. We'll tell you what to use, but this is an example list of threat actors or threat actor categories from a threat actor library. One important thing to point out here: although threat agents, threat actors sounds offensive and malicious, threat actors can also be non-hostile, non-malicious. Your insider, your reckless employee, the untrained employee. If your organization is not spending money to train and skill up people, they are non-hostile threat actors. Keep this in mind. It's a very important concept. Threat actors makes it sound all threat actors are malicious. In fact, majority of times, the threat actor that is going to damage your business may be a non-malicious threat actor. Okay, how do you make sense of all of this? What you see in front of you is originally copyright Intel. We've tweaked it a little. And what we are saying is, once you have a list of threat actors that are specific to your business, I repeat, you do not have to copy what you see on the screen at all. Create your own threat actor library. Then create a simple matrix and start color coding. You need to spend some time thinking about this. When we work with organizations, we spend a significant amount of time thinking about who is going to bring down their business. And majority of the times, they're non-hostile threat actors. I repeat, this doesn't mean that hostile threat actors don't exist. They do. You have to take a pragmatic view of your business, what it does, what sector, and then start to write down your threat actors on the top row. Color code the most dangerous threat actors. Non-hostile. Dangerous as in they could cause you the most amount of damage. If you have the time, build a narrative of the top threat actors. You shouldn't have 50, hopefully not. And challenge. Run this as a workshop. Get non-technical people in and technical people in. And let everyone challenge the threat actors that are on the board. Once you agree on the list, build a narrative. Okay, we have a separate module on this. We're going to touch on the privileged threat actor in module 2. We have a bonus 2A module that discusses this in a bit more detail. The privileged user can cause significant and in many cases irreparable damage to a business. And in many times it's not just the privileged user, it's also the privileges. And you must understand that the privileged user poses a significant, in many cases non-hostile threat to the business. Key lessons from Threat Actors Module 2. Maintain a TAL, a Threat Actor Threat Agent library. It doesn't have to be comprehensive. You could create a spreadsheet, color-coded as we've suggested. It's up to you, but make it easy to access and review it regularly. In addition, we're going to look at MITRE, M-I-T-R-E or MITRE groups. Make sure the supply chain is in your threat actor library. Obviously, as we have said before, don't name specific members of staff. However, see if you could put down roles like system administrator, HR administrator, etc., etc. If you are in banking or critical infrastructure, government, and we talk about MITRE more, but for now, MITRE attack, you can search it on any search engine. They have a very detailed, comprehensive list of threat actors, which you an example that you see on the screen over here. This particular group, they talk about the groups, and what you see on the screen, they describe how this particular nation state attacks, what kind of tools they use, aliases that they're known as, etc., etc. The website link is on there, attack.mitre.org/groups. Thank you and see you in Module 2A.